right, everyone. Welcome back to Full Circle with Joyce. If you're just joining us, Karibuni Sana. This is the second hour of our show today. And of course, we run every day, Monday to Friday, for 2 hours. That's from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. And our second hour from 9 a.m. is all about lifestyle. Today on Mondays, we focus in on personal development. And specifically today, we want to talk about personal branding. And we're also going to talk about how to start your own business. I know a lot of you are keen on that, so be sure to stay tuned all the way through until the top of the hour. But before we get started and I introduce my guest, here is your inspirational word for the day. It says, quote going, a pessimist is one who makes difficulties of his opportunities, and an optimist is one who makes opportunities of his difficulties. I'll read that again. A pessimist is one who makes difficulties of his opportunities, and an optimist is one who makes opportunities of his difficulties. That was by Harry S. Truman. Very interesting quote right there. And I don't know what you guys is how well you're able to practice this in your own life. If you're thrown with a challenge, if a challenge is thrown at you, what is your response to it? Do you sort of cow down into your shell? Are you completely overwhelmed? Or you're those resilient people who say, you know what, I'm going to look at this as an opportunity. This is going to be my stepping stone. This is going to be my chance to shine. Which side of the fence are you sitting on? Do let me know. 22999. Even as I certainly hope that quote right there by Harry S. Truman encourages you this morning. And I think it will segue or relate very well to what we want to talk about now, which is personal branding. Okay, and joining me on the show, I have Sherastine Mengo. Karibu sana to the show. You keep saying that your first name is a tongue twister. Karibu nipatikane hapo, najua mimi ni Mjaluo, pati Jaluo, so
you're not sure whether you're shrubing it or saying it right.
It's a bit of a tricky one, but
yes.
You said we can call you Mengo.
Yes.
All right, Mengo, karibu sana to the show.
Thank you.
So just briefly, tell us a bit about yourself and how you ended up why are you talking about personal branding? Why is it important?
Well, I look at it, okay, my background mostly, I was trained to be an engineer,
okay.
First of all, but it didn't agree very well with my personality.
Okay.
And looking at also the nature of the job that I was meant to do in the field, I felt like it didn't agree very much with who I am as a person. I am a person who likes people, who likes to work with people. Most engineering jobs are for people who like machines and things more than they like people, or who are more comfortable working with machines and things more than people.
Being isolated.
Yes. So I felt like it's not really the thing for me. So I set myself up for work roles in marketing and sales, and as I was working through then that's how personal branding was born. This is something that I felt like people haven't given as much attention, and I think it's the utmost form of personal development, in my opinion. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So why explain what it is first of all and why it's important? You're saying it's the utmost form of personal development.
Yes, because now this is the although let me mention the fact that when people hear personal branding, all they think is dressing and image, but that's a small part of personal branding. Personal branding is creating you're intentionally creating a reputation. You are intentionally deciding what people think about you, what people know about you, and the value you will provide to the market or to the world at large. So it is, and to develop a brand or to build a brand requires you to develop yourself as a person first of all. You are not going to sell you're not going to sell something you don't eat.
Yeah, and even just before we even get to that,
yes,
because so far our whole idea of branding has been that it's about a company, it's about products.
Yes.
But you're saying that as individuals, we ourselves can be our own brands.
Yes.
Okay.
Very, very important, because at the end of the day, even those companies we are talking about are being run by people. I mean, if you take the people factor out of companies, they remain empty, because these companies are catering to people. The products are catering to people. The services are catering to people, built by people. who have seen needs in other people. So at the end of the day, the human factor cannot be removed from anything we are doing in this world. An example of people that utilize personal branding the most is, say, politicians. I mean, we buy them. Even talk of salespeople, we buy you before we even buy what you're selling. But it's just personal branding is so important because of the question of trust. Trust is very important in business, in politics, in ministry, everywhere.
Yeah.
Trust is important, and the human factor is what quantifies what we do.
But does it still matter if someone to have taken care of that personal branding, if someone isn't running a business, they're not a CEO, they're not a politician, they're not a celebrity of some sort, you know, someone may ask, why should I still bother about personal development?
Well, everyone has a brand. Everyone, wherever you are, whatever you do, you have a brand. Now, the thing is just to decide to intentionally alter it, or to intentionally alter your reputation. Now, that's what we call building your personal brand. If you're looking for a job, you ought to build your brand, because now you want to sell yourself to the people that are interviewing you. What if you're looking for a promotion, you ought to build yourself to that person who shows capability for the next role you're going to. So everyone, wherever they are, you need to build your brand. There is a way you want to be known.
Yeah.
That is what your brand is.
Okay, and that's a good point, that, you know, even if you're not a celebrity, you're not a politician, you're not running a business, you still need a personal brand, even for what you're saying. Like, you never know what sort of work or opportunities could come your way.
Yes.
Because of the brand that you've built. And that's going back to what you were saying earlier, that it's about intentionally creating a reputation of some sort.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I want us to talk about that. You know, what are some of the qualities of a good personal brand?
The first one is there's what we call a leading attribute for a personal brand. What are you known for? Okay. Let me tell you a little bit about what I think your brand is. I know you as a singer. That is how I know you. But now again, you're building the brand of can I call it? It's not really an anchor, but you're a host. You're a show host.
Yeah, a media
You're building the brand of a media personality. But the brand you had before was the brand of a singer. Now, you still do.
Yeah.
One attribute about you that is constant all through is that you're a believer. How do I know? You start your show by prayer. So these are also other subtle things that people do to define their brand, or and it is based on also your beliefs. What beliefs do you have? What are your values? Because your beliefs are the ones that determine the things you do, what you get involved with, who you associate with, the other brands you associate with. I wouldn't expect your personal brand to associate with alcoholic drinks.
Yeah.
Very true. Now, these are the things that get to determine what your brand is: your beliefs, your values, and how you want to be known.
Okay.
Yes.
Beliefs, values, and how you want to be known.
Yes.
And I think that's a good point at which then to talk about, you know, for those who want to be leaders, even in school, student leaders, in university, in their office places, in church, how then do you apply those things towards branding yourself for leadership?
For leaders, the first thing is people need to know what you stand for. People need to know what you stand for. They say that people can easily follow a madman with a vision than an intellectual without one.
Wow. Just repeat that.
Yes, a madman that looks like he knows where he is going, people would follow them, than an intellectual who doesn't seem to know where they are going. So people need to know what you stand for. People need to know your vision. Where is it you want to go, or where is it you want to take whatever idea you have? People need to understand your beliefs. These are the things that people connect with. When you are a leader, the people that follow you are the ones who carry the same beliefs as you.
Yeah.
People who believe in the same values as you. It might not be all of them, but at least they agree with you on most issues. So if people don't know what you stand for, then what are they following? You see? So let people know what you stand for. Be straightforward about it, and it's not just about building a brand. It is again about promoting yourself as a brand. That is very, very important, and that's a part that most people leave out.
The promotion.
Yes,
part.
they don't. The people fear promoting. People fear self-promotion. You
Yeah.
feel like I'll be bragging.
Yeah.
I'll be too much in people's faces. But that's the whole point of it. People need to know what you're all about, what you're doing, and why you're doing it is even more important.
Yeah.
Yes. So promote yourself, promote your craft, promote what it is that you believe in.
How does one do that?
In this age and time, or at every juncture, there have been channels where you can do that. Today there is social media. I see young musicians, they promote their music online. There's social channels, there's TV, like what I'm doing today. I believe I'm self-promoting. If I wasn't here to sit and discuss this, who would know what I do? I mean, use social channels properly to promote yourself and your beliefs, but be intentional. Don't just do it from when you're intentional. You're able to plan, you're able to know what exactly to do, you're able to direct the the movement of your brand and your brand message.
Yeah.
So use social media, use TV, use radio. There is so many channels you can do that.
Yeah.
But get known, come out.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. And when we come back from the break, we're going to talk about the same avenues, these same channels.
Yes.
There's this thing about bad publicity is still good publicity. And I really want to hear your take on that, because if you're saying promote yourself, some people have taken that way off course and are using any sort of fame and publicity and promotion to put themselves out there. I really want to find out, is that the best way to do it? Or is it even a way to do it? Maybe it's not the best way, but is it a potential way to actually get to where you want to go? And we'll be touching on to some questions as well. So do keep those coming in to 22999. I'll be back in just a bit. All right, everyone, welcome back to Full Circle with Joyce, and we're of course here with Sherastine Mengo. Did I get it?
Yes.
Yes. It's a tongue twister, but I got it. Sherastine Mengo. He's a personal branding consultant, and we're talking about the golden rules of personal branding. And again, we're saying whether you're a CEO, whether you are a celebrity, whether you're a leader, whether you're a stay-at-home mom, whether you're a young person fresh out of college looking for a job, personal branding applies to you as well. And I invite you guys to send in your comments and your questions to him. 22999 is the SMS line. Lucy Blessed on Facebook, you say you're loving the discussion. I also have Triza Masharia who says you're tuned in. Earlier on, I also had a few of you check in with us. Stephanie Kemunto, Asante Sana, you say you're loving the show and you're watching us from Umoja Tena Estate. Aleki Eric, you say loud and clear at Ruai. Asante. Celestine Pendarege tuned in from Embu. Antonio Nze, Nakuru ndani kabisa. Asante sana. We do appreciate you guys. Njiriani Connect. You're watching us as well from Kiambu. Asante sana to the rest of you. Do send in your feedback and your comments to 22999, even as we continue with our discussion today. Now, one of the things that we were talking about just before the break was that when you're doing personal branding, a big aspect of it is that people develop these personal brands, but then out of fear or, shyness, I don't know what we'd call it, we don't promote ourselves. We feel very awkward about promoting ourselves. But it also does raise the question of those who use any form of publicity or promotion to get themselves out there. We know of some people who've actually created scandals so that they can be in the press, so that they can be in the news and have people talking about them. Is that, I don't know, what's your take on that?
It's a bit contentious. Well, all publicity is publicity, but not all publicity is good publicity.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, it's good to be out there, but be out there for the right reasons. You never know when these things will come back to haunt you. We have seen this happen, not once, not twice. We saw Donald Trump, what happened to him. But he has a certain way he plays around with the media. But me and you are not Donald Trump.
Yeah.
So just be careful, be out there for the right reasons. If it so happens that these scandals get you, there are scandals that get you without necessarily knowing. And I think it's at this point I'd like to share the story of Winnie Mandela. Winnie Mandela has suffered. She worked really hard to build a brand, because when she was banished to Brantford, she lost her brand. She now was named Mandela's wife. But that is not what she wanted. She wanted to be known as a fighter, as this strong woman. So what did she do? She went out and did the things that would agree to what she had wanted to be known as. She was in rallies. She was actually, in the apartheid era, was one of the only people who would stand in South Africa and talk negative about the apartheid government and go back home. All the men were in Lusaka. She was the only person. But the way the media played her down after Mandela was released, all scandals were coming out. But the only thing she did was remain truthful to who she was and what she stood for.
Yeah.
So if scandals come, remain truthful, but don't create scandals for publicity.
All right.
You can be known for the right reasons. So
Yeah.
put out the right things out there.
Yeah, and in fact, trying to create scandals to gain publicity, at the end of the day, it's lazy. Let's call it out for what it is. It's lazy because it's a failure to put in the work. It's a failure to be patient with the process, that you feel that doing that is sort of a shortcut to get to where you want to go. But the cost is going to be
And it means
tremendous.
you don't believe in what you do.
Yeah.
So if you have to bring out the negatives for you to come out, then you don't believe in the positives of what you do.
Yeah.
Put out the positives of what you do.
Yeah.
Be known for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the truth is, the internet never forgets now. And for some people, maybe they weren't trying to be scandalous or anything, but they've made some mistakes in their lives. And then I was just talking to someone over the weekend, and they were sharing their experience of how something, that their name was mentioned in. It's not even a true story, but they're named in it. It's on the internet, and it lost them a job because the employers, as they're doing their searches, even embassies nowadays, by the way, look at your social media, it actually lost them a job. So, for someone who maybe has had maybe their situation is not like that, but perhaps they were a wild child when they were in college, and you still have those raunchy photos on your Facebook or other things that could sort of put you in a compromising position. How does one guard themselves now when you've reformed, you're trying to build a new brand, you're trying to set yourself on the right course, but the internet doesn't forget? How are there ways that one can sort of begin to clean up their past image or even address it when they're confronted with it today?
I think that is exactly where you will start when you're starting to build your brand. Go back. If I took almost a whole week to clean my Facebook alone. That's just Facebook. Don't even talk of other channels. Take as much time as you can. From your own personal handle, remove everything. The pictures you've been tagged, if you can, ask the people that tagged you to delete them. These things might come back to haunt you. Well, we are in the age of screenshots. You would delete and someone else had already taken a screenshot. But at least let it not be found on your own handle. So go to your Facebook today, clean it up. Make sure that everything that is there, two things, either agrees with who you are or who you want to be.
Yeah.
If not any of those two, it doesn't belong there.
Yeah.
Remove
So
everything. Clean it up. If you've been tagged, politely ask the other person to remove what they tagged you, or let them delete it, or you can delete it from your side. If it comes from a different place, you can handle it differently.
Yeah.
The people that get scandals, the easiest way is to first of all talk about it. When you just it's not in all situations you will talk about it. There are those situations where you will just stay quiet and those issues will just go away. But in most situations, come out, address it, be out upfront about it. And people, by the way, people forget really quickly, but when they have to, they will pull out things from places you never imagined. So address
and be
these
humble
things.
about it.
Yes,
right?
yes, please be humble about it. Come out and be open. If that was you in college, just say I was young, and that is what we were doing in our day. But this is not who I am now. I have grown, I have developed, and yeah. So be upfront about it, and yeah, just be upfront about it if you have to address it.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So let's talk now about how to actually build a personal brand. We looked at some of the qualities earlier, but now how do we start doing that today?
First of all, is introspect. Go sit down and have a meeting with yourself. Decide where you want or what direction you want your life to take. How do you want to be known? Who do you want to be known as? I have something I call a personal branding guide. It helps you if you get me on social media, talk to me, I can send it to you. It's a very, very large document. It will really help you. Once you feel it, it will help you come out. So what you do first of all is to introspect. Ask yourself, who am I? What are my strengths? What are my values? What do I believe in? What value am I bringing to this world today? If I am an engineer, assuming I'm a structural engineer, I want to build good structures for people. Now, this is the gift that God has given unto me. I want to give it to the world. Then tell the world what you want to give, but it starts from introspect, from the inside out. Who you are, and how you want to be known, and what it is that you do. What tools do you have to help you to be what you want to be? Which ones do you have you don't have that you might have to acquire? What kind of help do you need? More important again, look at the people who have succeeded in your field. If it is a place of work or it is business, look at the people who have succeeded. Choose one and follow them to know what they do, and then success leaves clues. So when you follow others who have succeeded, you're also most likely to succeed. If you can be able to reach them, let them mentor you. It will really shorten your journey. It will lessen your mistakes. Yes. So after introspect, now go out to the world and tell the world what you're good at, who you do it for, and why you do it. Then start building from there. Learn to self-promote also slowly as you move.
What are some of the avenues aside from social media? Is there anything else that someone can do to sort of do this self-promotion?
Yes, there are many things you can do. If you're confident in what you do, seek speaking engagements. Start mentoring others who might not have as much information as you. I see a lot of people go back to high schools and they try to give what they already have. That's a very good move. That you're not selfish with what you have. You want to give it to others who don't have. Find speaking engagements. TV, as I've mentioned, is still big right now. Radio is still big,
and even if you can't get on TV, I mean, we live in this age of digital media. With YouTube has opened doors for so many people, and you don't even need, you can just do it with your phone. Like, you're on it anyways. You can record yourself, post it up on your YouTube, on your stories, on your Facebook page, and those are ways that you can sort of start establishing yourself, like sharing your expertise.
How much does it cost to have a blog today? You only have to pay for hosting and a domain, about 3,000 shillings. If the most I think you can be charged is 5,000. You can do your own blog, a small blog, give value there, write articles, do videos, as you say, have your YouTube channel, do videos from your phone, do posts. I mean, give value. Give value as much as you can.
When you were talking about giving value and not being selfish with your knowledge, sharing out your knowledge, one of the big questions that then comes up is, you know, everybody wants to make money from their craft. Everybody wants to be well positioned that they can earn from this. You know, is that the time you start charging, like, or do you say when you're starting out, even do things for free?
It depends on what you do. What does it cost you to give what you have? That will help you to know maybe how you can price what you have. You can, when you're starting out, you can price at discounts to really get your name out there. Things like speaking, if it doesn't cost you much, you can do it for free if you want to. But even doing it at a cost or at a price, it is still giving. I believe it is still giving.
Yeah.
Because now you can choose not to sell what you have.
Sure.
So even giving it at a price, I still consider it giving.
Yeah.
So look at your costs and decide what price makes sense. But once in a while, when you have an opportunity to give and you don't have as many costs, you can give for free. But even better, value your work, and charging for what you do sometimes helps people also value your work.
Yeah,
yes,
true.
yes, yes.
And maybe we can help out a few who are really struggling with that question of how much to charge for their work.
Yes.
So you've brought up an important point of look at your costs involved, right? But how else is there sort of like a rule of thumb of your costs plus an X percentage, or how would you advise people to come up with that number such you also don't say something so ridiculous and then lock yourself out of opportunities as well?
Well, that happens a lot. Even myself, it happened to me when I was starting out. But the first thing is to listen to your market. And there is no other way of knowing than first charging. Then you will base it on the feedback you get from the market. Go out to the market and give your offer. Then let the market tell you, this is ridiculous, this makes sense, this is too much, this is too little. You will get that feedback.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, don't go hungry trying to give. Okay?
Yeah.
So look at your costs, have a little markup, and what I would give as advice, mostly to consultants, people who give value in terms of expertise. It's good also to understand the budget of your client. Instead of just shouting your costs, you can say, for this that I do, if you were to pay for this, or when you look at your resources, what can you set aside for a project like this? When they tell you, then you can be able to look at it and say, according to my costs, please stretch up to here.
Yeah.
It will be easier for you. That is the in-between of not losing opportunities, as you said.
Sure.
Determine the budget of your client and see how you can work around that budget. Yes. Yes.
All right. Well, let me get to some comments and feedback here on SMS. Caroline, you're tuned in from Juja, and you say you're loving the show. Someone else here says still tuned, Joyce, but stima ilikuwa imepotea, but it's back. Let the show continue. Asante sana for that. Vicky, you're watching us from Eldoret, tunasema uko ndani kabisa. Vatkan, you're watching us from Embu. Philly, you're watching us from Kisumu. You say, hey Joyce, I think today's topics, I guess, were just meant for me. And you say you're tuned in until 10 a.m. Asante sana for that. Now, there's a question here from DJ Kentic, and he's asking, or they're asking, I'm asking Sherastine how to brand myself as a DJ.
That one, he is simply asking for a session with me, but simply look at, I like DJ Joey Mfalme. Let me just talk about him a little bit because of the profession of the one that asked the question.
Okay.
This guy has been on the scene. He has been relevant since I don't know how old I was until now. He is still relevant.
Yeah.
Because what? Focus. You go to his social media, all his photos, he is on the grind. And he has decided, we don't know what company name he uses. We just know DJ Joe Mfalme, and we don't even know his real names. But that is what he has done. He has promoted himself so much. He is on social media every time. He's on TV every time. He has worked hard at this. We have not, and I watched a show that he was being interviewed. He comes off as a very disciplined person. So I think in his case, discipline is key. And when you're in entertainment, by the way, entertainers, they struggle a lot with discipline.
Yeah.
And those who are disciplined have remained relevant for such a long time. So I would encourage him to study DJ Joe. And more importantly, let him choose a niche. Choose a niche. Don't just be a DJ of everything. Just say, I'm a DJ, but for this kind of thing. It will really help you to separate yourself from others. So choose a niche. Specialize. Say that, Mimi, I'm a DJ, but maybe if it's gospel, like DJ Mo, he says, all I do is gospel. Where has it landed him? He has a show right now. So specialize, and people will really, you will be able to stand out from the crowd. Yeah.
Okay. On Facebook, Triza Mashara, you say you're tuned in. Asante. Lucy Blessed, you say you're loving the discussion. I also have Victor Muhoro, you say, hey Joyce, tuned in as usual from Roy Nyota Avenue, enjoying the show. J. Sivirike, you say, Full Circle with Joyce, very much tuned in, and I like this kind of discussion. Maybe it's a new dawn on our TVs. And you say, on the issue of personal branding, does dressing too brand us? If so, do Kenyan women really work on branding themselves? Very interesting question there. How important is dressing when we're talking about personal branding, as you're saying?
Dressing is this important. People judge you the first 4 seconds they see you. That is how important dressing is. The first 4 seconds will determine whether they want to sit with you, they want to talk with you or not. So now, if someone dresses very well, even if they were an idiot, if they don't open their mouths, you'll be like, this guy is just, he looks like a professional. But when they open their mouths, you're like, okay, now. So dressing is very important because it gives you that opportunity to articulate your value. It gives you that opportunity for people to listen to you.
It allows you into the room.
Yes, yes, yes. Now, if you're stopped by someone wearing a suit in town, you would be inclined to stop. But if you're stopped by someone who looks kind of shabby, and that's what we are as human beings. We are that judgmental, and there's nothing that can be done about it. So dress properly, and the advice I give about dressing is look at the experts in your field, the people who are at the top there. How do they dress? Then go dress like that. If you're a CEO, you know how CEOs dress. If you're an engineer, you know how engineers dress. The best. I'm talking about the best. When you see the best, emulate them.
Okay.
That is how easy it is, because people, there's a lot of issues on dressing these days. So the best way to cut across bodies, see how experts in your field dress, and dress like that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, as we wrap up the show now, maybe you can just give us your sort of final advice on anyone out here trying to build their brand, and also share your contacts for those who want to reach you.
Yeah. The advice I would give is decide how you want to be known, be intentional about it, and promote yourself. I think I'd leave it there.
Yeah. Decide how you want to be known, be intentional about it, and promote yourself.
Yes, yes, yes. So if you'd like to find me everywhere, I'm Sherastine Mengo. There isn't another one, I can promise you. Anywhere.
Wow,
Facebook,
you branded it. Yeah, sure.
That one is, I don't think there's many. So Facebook, Sherastine Mengo. Twitter, Instagram, and SherastineMengo.com is my website. You can go there. There's a lot of value to learn.
Okay.
If you get there, message me. I'll be able to be in touch.
Great.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Sherastine
Thank
Mengo,
you
for
very
coming
much for
through to
having
the
me.
show.
Yes.
It's been a pleasure to have you here. We're going to take a short break now as we get ready for our next discussion here on Full Circle with Joyce. Of course, keep sending in your feedback. 22999 is the SMS line, and you can also reach us on social media at Switch TV Kenya on Facebook and Twitter, and at Switch TV KE on Instagram. I'll be back in just a bit.